What's good, nerds? So I've been using Notion for a really long time, and I really appreciate all the integrations they're doing. So they recently bought out a software called Cron, which is now called Notion Calendar, but it's literally the exact same thing. So I've been using Cron since it was Cron, and they bought that about a year ago, and they just recently released this email service called Notion Mail. Now they just also recently made it public, but I've been beta testing it for about 3 or 4 months now. It's definitely not my main email client, and I'll get into the reasons for that. But it does have some pretty strong features where if it could match my regular email client, then I would actually switch over. But we'll get into what the number one biggest feature is at the end of this video. For now, let me jump straight into the software. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to drop a subscribe or a like, but you don't have to do it yet unless you like the video. So we'll get in. So here we have the Notion Mail layout. So what's really cool is they integrate things like databases and different types of views into Notion Mail as well. So if you're about like organizing or hyper organizing everything you do, then I would say this definitely is a pretty good contender to be your mail client. And so if I scroll through here, you can see these are just all my emails. It's super simply laid out, like I don't have to worry about it. And for people who like a different interface, like I know Superhuman is another pretty big AI email service. Now, I don't think this would be the right switchover because this has definitely just a very basic layout. But let's get into, let's just look at an email. So if I go right here to this email, it's a pretty nice layout. It lays that out in a way where it basically integrates into the software itself, and I really appreciate that. And one feature that I really like about this that I haven't really seen in a lot of other email services, I mean, it might exist, but I've definitely never seen it highlighted like this, is this remind feature. So if I could click here, I can add a reminder to remind me about this, and it'll actually add it to my Notion calendar as well. So it has really good integrations. It's a whole like ecosystem now. This is a great feature that I definitely would be using. And then you could add it so that if there's no reply to it, it'll remind you. But if there's a reply, then it won't remind you, which is pretty nice. Mark as unread, archive, delete. Like these are all some basic ones that you get basically with every email. And then next you have labels, so you can go ahead and label emails right here. So I'll do this and type a newsletter right there. So now I can mark it as a newsletter, and they have all these different ones. You can just do whatever you want. These are also in Gmail, and I'm pretty sure that Notion Mail is just a Gmail wrapper, but it does have some extra features on top. And so you could just do that, and it does actually integrate with the Gmail tags as well, so that part is pretty nice. And forward or reply, so I have all the features right here that I really could ever want. And then on top of that, up here I have this auto label similar. So I don't actually pay for the Notion AI, but if you do, and this is like just for basic Notion, if you pay for that AI system, you can add auto labeling. So you'll see right here, it's gonna go through, find all the emails that are super similar to it, and then it's gonna create a label for those specifically. Now this is pretty nice, especially if you have older emails that you want to categorize. You don't have to go through and recategorize everything. It'll just find them and save them. So you can hit yes or no, and this will basically refine down what you want those categories to be. So I can go here and then I'll just hit save, and it's gonna create a new label for those. And it's gonna call them content trends, I guess. But I can go ahead and edit the name right here too, and the color as well. But you'll see it pop that label up here right here. So these labels are pretty important given what else you can do with the software. So they took a page out of how Notion handles databases and basically put it into your email as well. So if you go up here, there's this views category, and you just go over here and you can click into views. And right here you have all different types, but I'll go ahead and show you how you can create one. So I'm gonna hit add a view. And you can describe your view right here. So this uses the Notion AI to do that, but since I don't have that, I'm not going to do that, but just so you know, you could do that. And then they have these templates right here. So depending on what you want this view to be, you can basically recategorize and re-theme how you want to view your information. So right here, I can go and I can have it be priority mail. So this one I found pretty important for me personally, because if you need to categorize your mail, especially like if you like run a business or something, you could do that. So right here, it's gonna give me important mail, waiting, and then no status. So I could literally go right here. So let's say right here, I want to bring this email up to important. So right there, it's gonna be right here, super important, and that way I know to get to it. And this is great for sorting through your emails. And you could create views for all different types of things. So you see, I have one right here for media. So this is gonna have some of my YouTube stuff in it, all that kind of thing. You could have the ones filtered by different categories. Content trends right here, which is the one we made earlier. Now it has its own view as well. Feature announcements, priorities. The news one is also pretty cool. So you can see it'll actually lay them out by the different news organizations and then populate that with the different mail from them. And then marketing campaigns. So this will just send you all the like junk mail that you basically get to your email. So that's pretty nice. And then you have your basic inbox scan. So I really do think this feature can level up how you look at your email and really help sort through all the different types of emails you can get. But if you do run a business, you will have a lot of emails that are like really important. You need to get to them, and this will really help you like clarify and filter down those emails and help you be more productive. I mean, I think the overall goal here is just for you to spend a lot less time in your mailbox. So you just get to what you need to know and then do it right there. Another feature that I really do like is how it handles your replies. So I've seen Apple, like Apple's mail system, has really bad looking UI, especially when you're in an email chain because it will like copy paste the email back above the other one, and it's just impossible to get to the other thing. So we're gonna get into my last and most favorite feature of this, which is maybe one of the reasons why I would think about switching, which is how you could draft emails. So if I go over here to add a new email right here, so if I compose a new email, it lets me format it in a way that a business would or a marketing email would. And so this is great because since it's in your personal email, it'll be really nice. But I'll just send it to myself right here. Cool. So it's gonna be right there. And I'm gonna add a label like this is important. And this is why I say that it's pretty good if you own a small business. So I can hit the slash button right here and format it the exact same way I format a Notion page, which is a really, really cool feature. So this call out will say, I need to schedule important. So I added this call out at the top that says I need to schedule an important email with you. I could add these three lines right there to create an underline. And then I could do slash H2. So the same way that I do it in Notion, I could say schedule here. And this is so cool because I can actually hit slash. And then if I scroll to the bottom down here, they have like these little snippets. So these are like regular types of emails that you need to send. And I'll get into those in a sec here. But I could also go slash and then right here you can add a schedule. This will go into my Notion calendar and it has all my availability. So I could select 3 different times for availability right here. And then I can exit out of there. And so that'll actually let me click and it'll let whoever gets this email click into there and schedule time to meet with me. And then another cool thing down here is I could say slash H2 tasks slash H3 things needed prior to meeting. And then down here I can do slash and then you can do a to-do list. So down here I could say like find out info 2. I know I'm really creative with these bullet points. Info 3. Cool. And so I can have all 3 of those there. And so you could really get super creative with this. I mean, you can even embed images into the email as well. And although I'll get into a snippets in a second, you can even go right here and you can add a snippet. So create a new snippet from this. So we'll hit send on this email right there. And let's take a look at what it looks like in my other email service, in my main email service. So you can see I have the email right here, and this is through a different email service. So it's really cool because everything actually comes through, so you can see all the things that you could see in the Notion one. So there's nothing proprietary there going on, and so it uses HTML to like basically code the email, which is cool. And even these to-do lists work no matter what email service you're using. So this is just nice. I mean, not that it's a super useful feature, but it's cool that it exists, especially for the person on the other end or like an employee or something. And I can go over here and hit schedule here. And so this has a really nice UI layout to it. And right here, I can just schedule anytime. And I forgot to mention all his services are free. So it's nice that I can do this unless you're using the Notion AI. You can use the scheduling tool for free. So I go here and I just hit 1:30. You can type in my name and then I'll hit schedule meeting. And there you go, you're done. So it's pretty cool that you could go through and send emails like this. And lastly, I want to get into what snippets are. So snippets are basically like a saved email, but you can put blanks in there so that it'll autofill people's contact information. So if I consistently send the same type of email over and over and over again, I basically would want to have a snippet because I don't want to retype out all my information every single time. So I'm going to go over here to snippets, and they have some preset ones. So I'll go into here and then say schedule outreach. So this is like hi first name. So if somebody's a contact in your Google contacts, I believe it'll just pop their name into here. And you can even put like people's first names and stuff in the subject line as well. So a lot of email services do use this, but like for example, MailChimp. But MailChimp is meant to send emails to like 500 people at a time. This is meant to send an email to a single person at a time, but you can like keep those snippets in there. So this to me is one of the biggest features for Notion Mail, and like one of the biggest pros is that I'm able to create professional looking emails that can go like outbound to clients and things like that, but it's still as user friendly as like a Gmail would be. So, and I think the feature that Notion Mail is missing the most is that they don't really filter out emails automatically. You really have to use the labeling system and like have the AI auto label. So I think that is kind of the downside to this. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good email app. If they refine that, so the auto labeling, I mean, granted, I don't use the auto labeling, but like if they refine that and I use the auto labeling, then I think that that will really help the service, and I might switch over. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a subscribe. I got more videos, a little bit more conceptual, coming up soon. So later.